Good morning, traders. It is Antoine Farrar back with another trading video with Digital Goatz Academy. Welcome to our live trading segment. Now, right now, testing, testing. Is my mic working? All right. Right now, um, we're waiting for NFP to drop. So my expectations is for indices, US 30, S&P, NASDAQ to continue being bullish. That's what my hopes are. Still a lot of positive talks across the board as far as like Bloomberg and other news outlets. So NFP news is about to drop in basically 10 minutes. Once it hits 8:20, it's 8:18 a.m. right now, Eastern time. So once it hits 8:30, that news will drop in whatever direction that the market is basically trending. It'll probably produce a major candle like that. That's been the consistency in the past couple of NFPs. Now, NFP always doesn't get like sporadic like that, like very aggressively bullish or bearish, but we just want to be in preparation for it. So I did have for my community, I did say that once US 30 hit this zone and it did bounce up from the zone, I believe that we were buying up from here. And you can see that last night it started creating these buying patterns, basically creating the structure that we need for the market to come up. So I'm basically just waiting to see what happens when the news drops, and then I'll make a position from there. Like I said, I did buy up last night, like somewhere in this area. So the fact that we saw price push up, now real quick, this is what I did in order to establish, okay, are we buying, are we selling? So you see from this move, from this entire move yesterday, what did the market do? It pushed down to 50%. We like seeing that. It rejected 50%, but it also, where's the structure at? The structure is above or at 386. So as the lowest price went down was 50% of this entire move of this is the entire move from this low to this high right here, right? So we went 50% or we attempted to, and that's why I have this green zone, because I know a lot of times that the market doesn't come exactly down to the line of the Fibonacci tool. So I like to create zones to see, like, to consider that basically 50%. So this zone, the fact that it came up within this zone, it rejected this zone, but also closed at the 382 from this previous momentum. Um, I'm looking at this thing to continue. So last night we had a push down, and then we bought back up this morning. What was this? 4 a.m. No, London we pushed down, which is exactly what we wanted to see, to be honest. Um, because that's been the consistency with the London market as far as like US 30, S&P, basically indices. So we pushed down. Now pre-New York, we pushed up. We're basically waiting for New York. I mean, we're in New York, but we're waiting for this news to drop, which is in 9 minutes. Which again, like a candle will push out, and hopefully it's an aggressive candle. If not, the market will slowly start being like a little choppy and then find its direction as more of the data comes out up until 12 p.m. I don't recommend any trader staying in the market unless you have a low position after 12 p.m. because tomorrow is 4th of July. So that's why NFP is on Thursday. It's normally on Friday. Tomorrow's 4th of July. So yeah, the market to be closed. Specifically, maybe not foreign exchange like regular currency pairs, but anything to deal with stocks, yeah, they'll be closed. So I wouldn't even try to mess with indices after pretty much 11:30. So if you're not already trying to catch this move, then you're basically gonna miss it. But this will give you clarity on the direction of what the market is trying to do overall for next week. And hopefully we get this continuation because we know that a rate cut is going to be priced in around September. So if the market continues like buying up, you know what I'm saying, from these positions, we know that more than likely, if we do get a pullback back to these lower levels, it'll be probably from once the rate cut is induced around September. You know what I'm saying? So momentum is still high to the upside. What I'm hoping is that we get that 45K today. I hope we get that 45K for US 30 today. that'll kind of confirm because that'll put us back at the previous high and that'll give us more clarity on what overall the market is trying to do. And we're back at that gap. Didn't even realize that. So we're back at that gap and that candle. If you remember what we were talking about in February, I don't know if for those of you that have been following me, and if you find value in this video, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. But remember, this was our move that we were looking for the major sell that we were talking about. The market could be coming down a lot lower than what we expected. So we're back at that price area where that candle was. I still have it annotated. So remember, this information, when you turn to a line chart, it doesn't exist. You see, we should be seeing the dip. That's how we knew that the market would basically try to, what am I trying to say? I don't know why I can't think right now. The market would basically try to blow through this. And we did. We were correct in that. Now it pushed all the way back up to the high, started creating structure, and then pushed all the way down. And again, you couldn't have called it because again, a lot of this was wick movements. Well, no, now that we're seeing it by the day, it's kind of like, man, that should have been an easy call, but you could see in between the market started being choppy. So if you would have just waited for the position, you see that the market dropped and we knew that it was going to blow through all that, retested that area, then continue pushing down. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm looking for on this side, now that we've already made it back up here, basically it took us, what, 6 months to get back up here? It took us, what was this? January to April. April is 4 months, or if you want, say 3 months. So yeah, this whole move from the downside all the way back up only took 6 months. So remember, I've been talking about that we could possibly see 50K by the end of this year or going into the beginning of next year. That seems more likely than it does seem impossible. So that's what I'm looking at because again, this is this is playing to our inverted head and shoulder pattern. So we should still continue to push up, obviously with pullbacks, but this is the inverted head and shoulder. So yeah, I'm pretty confident now that we're still playing to that right shoulder that yes, we're going to push higher than this and then decide to push back down. But we just have to wait 5 minutes from now, see how this data reacts. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just kind of wait how this data reacts. But yeah, same thing with S&P. S&P made its move. I do think that it's going to continue bullish. Same thing with the NASDAQ. They made their moves, and I think they're going to continue. But well, NASDAQ is a little bit of a different beast. But since NFP is being induced today, I mean being filtered into the market, it'll probably whatever direction or whatever direction indices are going, all of them will probably show the same thing, like one giant either bearish candle or bullish candle. So 4 minutes left. The moment everybody's been waiting for. Like we've been talking about, over these past couple of weeks, we've been bullish. So stock market's been bullish. So even with today, we're still bullish. If the market was to try to flip to the downside, it would just be probably trying to retest lower levels that, we just weren't paying attention to. So like I said, I'm still bullish across the board for the market. Um, but we're just waiting to see how the market reacts today. I'm not trying to think sell because, like I said, I believe that once we hit September or probably the end of August, then we'll probably start having more data saying that the market may want to do like a major pullback. But as far as like right now, with indices, man, they just what what's the song with Young Thug? Hustlers don't stop, they keep going. Indices don't stop, they keep going. So remember, we saw that on the selling side from March or pretty much the beginning of January, but really March was the trigger. The market started selling and it didn't stop till it hit that $36,000. So we've been pretty much monitoring how the market moves. So there's no reason to think otherwise. The only thing is that where is the position that the market is actually going to buy or sell up from? So we got what, 1 minute left. Yeah, 1 minute exact. Well, 50 seconds exact for this candle to close before we go into 8:30. And that's going to be the NFP candle. Now, there is more news going on today. I don't want, what I'm saying? There's more high impact news. So once we get the push whatever direction, that could change the direction. So to me right now, any push that's going to happen is going to be for the market to get there as fast as possible. And then when this later news happens, that's when the market is probably going to try to react differently. So if we get a push to the upside and we get that 45K, I think once we hit that resistance area, we'll probably start to want to pull back from there if we get this push up. And there we go. There we go. That's it. That's what we wanted to see right there. That's exactly what we wanted to see, traders. So we want the market to maintain this, but the fact that it opened up like that, like, yeah, like it should maintain until we hit another high impact news, it should maintain this momentum to the upside. But this is what we want to see. We're not out the woods yet, so we just got to see how the market is reacting right now. But this is what we want to see for sure.
Goes down, instead of trading it down by 6 basis points and saying there's 4.573. So you'll feel some of the slime in my bottom line. Morning, John. A lot of numbers to go through here. 127,000 tons traded according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is above the 106 estimate that we got for Bloomberg Economics and the Economist Research. Private payroll up 74,000.
You can almost even hear it in their voices on Bloomberg. I don't know if y'all can hear Bloomberg behind me, but you can even hear the excitement in their voices whenever, because that tells me who's investing on these platforms as well, or on these news outlets as well. Like these analysts or these anchors that are speaking and giving information, I'm sure they invest and trade on their own, and you can kind of hear the excitement in their voices when basically what they expected pans out. So if you were thinking the same thing as them, pretty much put you in the right position. But it's 8:30. This should be the move for the rest of the day until we hit more. I know there is more high impact news coming. I don't think that's gonna flip the market. What I think is gonna add more momentum, or up until that point, that could be like the pullback for this sequence right now. But I think this is the direction of the market until we hit. Matter of fact, let me see before another hour. So I think this is the direction of the market for another hour until we hit. Well, no, there's more data coming out that's high impact. I think this is the direction until we get to 45K, to be honest, y'all. So I'm wondering if this other news is gonna trigger it to actually continue moving to the upside. But again, don't stay in this market past 12. 12 pass or fail as far as like in profit or not in profit, you should be looking to get up out the market, yo. But that's all I got for today. As you can see, traders, this is what US 30 is doing. I mean, S&P is just flawlessly going up. Like, oh my gosh. I was in S&P and I was like, I think S&P is going to go to 6,400 today. If we can get Bitcoin to not Bitcoin, US 30 to basically 45K, I think that S&P is going to go to 6,400. NASDAQ, same thing. NASDAQ, same thing. So it'll give its fight, but I think this, like I said, I think this is the direction. It's going to be pretty volatile, but I think this is the direction so far. So pretty calm. Didn't actually be aggressive like I like, but still showing us what we needed to see. So oh yeah, man. Let these candles keep being bullish, and that should be the move for the rest of the day. So I'm Antoine Farrar signing out. I will catch everybody on our next video, which will be next week. Definitely happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to all the traders out there. This is a great year for us. So while you're out there having fun, make sure you definitely be safe. Our next video will be our weekly review. So man, it's just a great year so far. And it's going to be a great year the rest of the year. So again, I'm Antoine Farrar signing out. I will catch you traders later. Peace.